we don't often get to take a minute and just sort of pull back the curtain and explain some of the things we're doing with our worship services and in our worship. And I want to take just a minute tonight, because we have the chance, just to help you understand what we're thinking, sort of some of our planning as we are approaching worship each Lord's Day. You know, we view our planning for worship as a never-ending job in which we are always asking, how can we better and better portray the drama of the gospel each Lord's Day? How can we show our congregation the variety of musical and liturgical expressions that help capture rich doctrine and historical Christianity and continue to repackage it and address it for a new generation who doesn't know some of the same stuff that people have known for years. And then, of course, with our quest for praying and asking the Lord for continued diversity in our worship, we're asking, how do we make our worship services multicultural in expression as well? So we don't know what we're doing, but we continue to pray and ask and seek the Lord to answer those very things. But I just wanted to tell you a few things this evening that I was thinking about that would help you kind of know what we're doing, just on a very practical level. And the first is regarding St. Andrew's Hall. You know, we are just now, again, this month, starting to assign a parish a month to worship in St. Andrew's during our 11 a.m. service. And we know that that is a service, an act of service for you and your parish when during that month you worship there, because we just all know the acoustics are not as great. There's nothing better than being live and in color, right? When you're here and can be a part of the singing and all that's going on. Everything is just better in this room. And yet, we are continuing to work to make that worship experience there as great as we can. You may not know that we installed new microphones in this sanctuary that help capture congregational singing to pipe into that room, just to try to make the sound more full over there. Our goal is to make St. Andrew's Hall another sacred and excellent worship space. And we are continuing to work on that. It's not an easy thing to do, but we're trying to provide the best possible environment we can over there. And want you to know that we don't view St. Andrew's as that casual worship room where, if your kids are restless and they want to run around and eat popcorn, take them over to there. We're trying to make that place sacred as well, a place where people can worship with as little distraction as possible. So to know that then, especially if you have fussy kids and you want a place to go, the Geneva room has a live television feed in it. That's that room behind St. Andrew's Hall that has the accordion wall. And each Sunday morning, and actually hopefully through all of our services, 3 a day, that's a live feed room where you can go if you have a fussy kid or fussy husband and you need a place to put them. That'd be a great one to do there. So know that that's what we're doing over there for you. To try to make it as great as we can there, we're now providing during the 11 o'clock service a pastoral leadership presence there. One of our pastors or pastoral interns will be there to do announcements and to lead when there's opportunity. This morning, I led communion there live for the downtown parish, and Mike Murphy came over and we sang that last hymn with Mike leading on the piano. It's a sweet, sweet, intimate environment. There were probably 60 in there for that service. So we're providing pastoral leadership, providing musicians as we can. We are providing 2 singers, and we're asking you, if you have a gift and you know you can sing, we're just trying to put a male and female voice on 2 microphones in there that can help bolster the singing that is taking place in there as well. So that's a great opportunity to serve. We're just trying to make that as good as we can for you. You may not know this, but a lot of our most elderly members or those with disabilities like to go to St. Andrew's because, for instance, it's the closest room to the Trinity classroom where our Trinity class meets. And so a lot of people just worship in that room anyway because it's easier for them for health issues to be able to go there. So We know it's a sacrifice. We're trying to make it as great as we can in there for you, and we're working every way we can. If you have suggestions for how we can practically make that a better worship experience, please let us know. But I want you to know what we're thinking there. And then just quickly, I never thought that, we've probably never told you, but on Sunday mornings in here, when we have the meditation, which is that musical number that we come to worship not just casually, but we hope to come to worship with having prepared ourselves for worship. But if you're anything like me, it's often before, I don't think about the preparation part of worship before I'm actually seated in here. So what we try to do is provide that musical meditation where there's a place that's free as much distraction as possible, where you can take a minute, maybe the only minute you've had all week, and just silence your heart and prepare in a place of holy rest before the Lord as you prepare to enter into the presence of God. So that's what we do that for, and that's why we, by the way, ask the ushers to hold people from being seated during that time, because we want to make it as free from distraction as we possibly can. That's why we do it. I thought that might be helpful for you to know. The last thing I want to tell you is each Lord's Day that we have communion in the morning, we also offer down here at the end of the hall in one of these rooms down here, we hold a 6 p.m. communion service. There were about 10 in there this evening. It's another intimate, sweet time for you. If you missed communion in the morning because you were gone or because you're working in the nursery or teaching catechism, it's an opportunity for you to come and not miss the Lord's Supper, because we need the Lord's Supper as frequently as we can get it. So those are a few things that I thought would help you understand what we're doing in worship. Now let's continue to worship as we give of our tithes and offerings, if the others would come forward now.